no way I would want to do that.
Jake Paul finally met his match, but not in the ring. It was Mike Tyson, and it all went down after Jake canceled their much-anticipated fight. Why? Tyson, the living legend, demanded a random steroid test, leaving Jake no time to prepare. While drug tests are standard before fights, Tyson's request was a curveball, and Jake's refusal to comply raised eyebrows. The timing couldn't be worse, as November 15, 2024 was set to be a monumental day in boxing, with fans eagerly awaiting the showdown. Tyson, true to his baddest man on the planet reputation, didn't let Jake off the hook. The cancellation speaks volumes, leaving many to wonder what Jake was really hiding. Tyson's legacy remains untouchable, proving once again why he's an icon. Mike Tyson, the fearsome icon who once terrified opponents, versus Jake Paul, the brash YouTuber turned boxer. This fight promised more than just a bout. It was a clash of generations, a test of whether Jake's bold confidence could stand against Tyson's raw power and legendary legacy. The announcement sent shockwaves through the sports world, igniting social media with debates and predictions. Fans and critics alike wondered if Jake, despite his prior wins, had overstepped his limits. Could he truly face a living legend? The excitement was electric. Memes, hashtags, and endless discussions dominated conversations. Jake, ever drawn to the spotlight, seemed poised for his biggest challenge yet. Jake Paul thrived on the attention. Riding high after a string of victories that left critics stunned, his confidence bordered on arrogance. Headlines buzzed with his trash talk, from bold interviews to fiery social media posts. Jake mocked Tyson's age, questioned his stamina, and even declared that Tyson's era was over. He cast himself as the future of boxing, the young lion ready to dethrone the old guard.
We got a YouTuber fighting the greatest fighter that ever lived.
But if Jake's words were meant to shake Tyson, they failed. Mike Tyson, the man who once reigned supreme in the heavyweight division with his devastating knockouts, responded with the calm composure of a seasoned veteran. Tyson had seen it all before. While Jake reveled in the theatrics, Tyson remained laser-focused, exuding the quiet determination of someone who knew his own power. When pressed about Jake's taunts, Tyson kept it simple but firm. He promised the fight would serve as a stark reminder of why he was once the most feared man in the ring. A legend who, even with age, was still a force to reckon with. At the August 18th, 2024 press conference, Mike Tyson didn't just show up. He took over, turning a standard promotional event into a jaw-dropping spectacle. While most fighters might play it safe in hyping a match, Tyson flipped the script entirely, leaving the audience and Jake Paul stunned. First, Tyson dropped the bombshell. The fight could only be won by knockout. No technical knockouts, no referee stoppages, just a decisive old-school KO. For a moment, the room went silent, followed by an eruption of gasps and murmurs. Who does that? Tyson does. It wasn't just a rule change. It was a statement, a challenge that screamed, "If you want to beat me, you'll have to knock me out cold." But Tyson wasn't done. As the room began to settle, he delivered another curveball. Mandatory random drug tests for both fighters. The announcement shook everyone. Tyson's message was clear. He wasn't just here to fight. He was here to prove his dominance on every level, forcing Jake to play by the legend's uncompromising terms. This wasn't your typical pre-fight pea in a cup situation. Tyson wanted the drug tests to be truly random. No warning, no prep time, just a surprise "it's testing time" moment. And let's be real, everyone in the room knew exactly who this was aimed at. Jake Paul. The king of controversies, Jake's career has been surrounded by more rumors than a tornado in Kansas. Tyson was making it crystal clear. There would be no shortcuts, no shady wins, and absolutely no doubts when they finally stepped into the ring. If you followed Jake Paul's career, you know his victories have been clouded by controversy. Critics have long questioned his wins, especially those convenient TKO finishes. Rumors of bribed refs and rigged fights have haunted him for years. But Tyson, the knockout legend himself, wasn't about to let any tricks slide. This fight would be clean, decisive, and on Tyson's unyielding terms. Tyson wasn't about to let any nonsense tarnish his legacy. By scrapping TKO wins and introducing random drug tests, he sent a clear message. If you're going to beat me, you'll have to do it the hard way, and good luck with that. And Jake Paul's reaction? Absolutely priceless. As Tyson laid down the rules, Jake's trademark cocky grin vanished, replaced by a look of pure panic. The no TKO rule alone was a game changer, slashing his odds to next to nothing. But it was the random drug tests that really had him sweating bullets.
Every time these fighters sit across from me and it's YouTuber, it's Disney Channel, all that shit, and then you end up on the fucking canvas and you'll see, it's gonna be no different here.
Jake tried to save face, playing the legal card and whining about how Tyson's rule changes breached their contract and were unfair. But let's be real. Jake knew the score. Back in March, when the fight was being negotiated, Jake had agreed to let Tyson call the shots. There was no fine print or underhanded trickery here. Jake willingly signed on, and now the reality of Tyson's no-nonsense terms was hitting him like a freight train. Jake Paul's meltdown was a desperate attempt to wriggle out of a fight he clearly wasn't ready for. The media had a field day, with headlines blaring about Jake's unease and his so-called legal drama. But anyone familiar with Jake's playbook saw through it. When the pressure's on, Jake dodges, deflects, and distracts. It's classic Paul behavior. Meanwhile, Tyson remained unfazed, cool as ice. Having seen it all before, he wasn't letting Jake's antics rattle him. Tyson's message was crystal clear. This fight would be fair, clean, and decisive. No excuses, no controversies. Just two men in the ring, and only one walking out a winner. With tensions between them now at a fever pitch, Tyson's rule changes elevated the stakes. What was already a monumental event has become a battle for the ages, promising to leave no doubts about who truly deserves to stand victorious. Tyson's rule changes transform this fight into something monumental, a battle not just for bragging rights, but for the very integrity of the sport. As November 15th, 2024 approaches, one thing is clear. This is a night that will be talked about for years. And Jake Paul? He'd better hope his chin is as strong as his Instagram game, because Tyson isn't playing around.
2-minute rounds. You want to make it 10 threes? Don't talk to me about shape. Don't talk to me about shape.
Stay in shape, all right?
You want 10 threes?
Okay.
You want 10 threes?
Unsurprisingly, Jake wasted no time taking his frustrations to social media, treating it like his personal boxing ring. His millions of followers, used to the usual cocky, trash-talking Jake, saw something new: anger. Jake was fuming, painting himself as the victim and accusing Tyson of breaking their agreement. In Jake's version of events, Tyson wasn't the legend enforcing fairness, but the villain breaking sacred rules. Whether fans bought it or not, the fight's stakes only continued to rise. Jake Paul claimed Tyson's rule changes were a calculated move to sabotage his chances of winning. According to Jake, Tyson had rigged the fight to ensure victory, or at least that's what Jake wanted the world to believe. The accusations became the juiciest scoop in town, with headlines screaming about Jake's claims and analysts dissecting every word. Was there any truth to his story? Or was Jake just playing the victim? Jake argued the no TKO rule was a sneaky tactic to eliminate his best shot at a win, while the random drug tests. He called them a low blow. Frustrated, Jake took to social media, turning his feeds into a relentless tirade. He accused Tyson of everything from rigging the fight to trying to ruin his career. Jake's loyal fans initially rallied to his side, but even they started to waver. Was he genuinely concerned about fairness, or was he searching for an escape route? The answer became clearer as fight day approached, and it wasn't in Jake's favor. After days of ranting and raving, Jake Paul dropped a bombshell. He was canceling the fight. The matchup everyone had been buzzing about, the one poised to be the biggest of his career, was officially off. The boxing world was stunned. What began as a dispute over rule changes had spiraled into a full-blown crisis, leaving the fight dead in the water. For many, Jake's decision wasn't just shocking. It felt like an admission of defeat. Not in the ring, but in the court of public opinion. Enter Logan Paul, ever the showman, who didn't miss the chance to spin a narrative. In an interview, Logan painted a surprising picture of Jake's past, claiming that before YouTube fame and boxing antics, Jake dreamed of becoming a Navy SEAL. Yes, Logan wanted everyone to believe that the same Jake Paul who built his career on pranks and viral stunts once aspired to be a hardcore military operative. Speaking directly to Tyson, Logan framed this as a mic drop moment, a plea to show that Jake was more than a loudmouth influencer. According to Logan, Jake's high school years were filled with Logan Paul, ever the showman, painted a surprising picture of his brother Jake, claiming that before YouTube fame and boxing antics, Jake had dreams of becoming a Navy SEAL. According to Logan, Jake was ready to go full Rambo and defend the nation. But here's the thing. Trying to picture Jake Paul as a Navy SEAL was like imagining a cat swimming the English Channel. The guy who gained fame as a Disney Channel star and then transitioned into a YouTube prankster didn't exactly scream SEAL material. Logan's attempt to recast Jake as a disciplined, tough-as-nails warrior was met with Mike Tyson's signature dismissiveness. Tyson wasn't buying any of it. In typical Tyson fashion, he brushed off Logan's defense like it was an annoying fly buzzing around. His response was a sharp reality check for anyone buying into Logan's narrative. For Tyson, the fight wasn't about stories or media spin. It was about skill, power, and who could deliver when the bell rang, not who could craft the best tale.